Hello and a very warm welcome to ET Brand Equity in partnership with SAP as we present Digital Horizon, charting our future together. I'm your host Divina Lasson and I'm delighted to guide you through yet another insightful and future-focused discussion, one that highlights the forward-thinking businesses and how they're leveraging advanced technologies to transform their operations, to enrich their customer journeys, and of course to create resilient, sustainable enterprises. So today we'll explore how companies are not merely adapting to disruption, but are actively shaping what lies ahead through bold innovations, through collective intelligence, and a strong sense of purpose. It's my privilege to extend a heartfelt welcome to a very distinguished panel of experts today. Joining us, Ajit Karimpana, founder and CEO for Lenko, Ajay Shankar, CFO, Ultraviolet, Nivedita Nandampalli, founding member, Zolf, and Akhil Sikri, co-founder, Zolo Stays. Welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure to have you today. So, we're here really to deep dive into, of course, how ultimately you're all running organizations that truly are looking into the future, right? There's been such great innovation across the board, across industries, across sectors. So love to deep dive into all of this and much more on the panel today. So Ajit, shall we start with you?
Sure.
For Lenko has been such an interesting organization because you've really disrupted the way the whole impression of furniture rentals is, the way it functions as well on the back end. Can you tell us a little bit about what were some of those big moves that you took, some of the more perhaps risk-taking moves that you did take, and of course, ultimately how tech has powered a lot of that?
Right. You mean other than starting the business itself?
Well, yeah.
Well,
let's start from that.
Let me start with that. It's
yes.
Furniture rental was something that didn't exist before Lenko started. It started with my mother saying that who rents furniture in India? And absolutely nobody was renting furniture in India. It was seen as a taboo. People thought that they are buying into an asset. What I believed in was that furniture is not an asset, it's a liability. Your life keeps changing from the age 22 when you come out of college. You move from one house to the next house. You move from one job to the next job. You move from one salary to the next higher salary. Why do you want to carry a piece of furniture which you can afford in your past into your future? Hence the concept of renting itself. When change is the norm, why do you want to get stuck in the past? This is a clarity that I have today, not when I started the business. But of course, challenges were plenty. Just to give you an example, I don't want to sleep on a mattress which somebody has slept on yesterday. My answer to that was, in this hotel, the room that you're staying in, somebody else sleeping on that mattress yesterday. So you're okay with sleeping on that because the brand says that the mattress is good. So it's about building the brand and getting your act together in providing the best possible furniture in people's home. So we had to work on all of those taboos in the early parts of our days. It's been in 2025, it's the 15th year of existence and 10 years of active existence in terms of with money and everything. As I speak, we are in about 1.5 lakh active subscriber homes in 28 cities and slowly working towards our IPO. That's where we are. And your second part of the question, technology. I do not think this, of course, furniture is the number one thing that you need for this business, but without tech, we would not have survived. Lenko as a business is a bank which lends out furniture. It is a subscription company which has to actively get the subscription payment from the customer. It has to deal with routing, the place that you are staying, we need to deliver as well as pick up. So technology needs to accumulate those orders and ensure that we save on our costs. And including the designing of the furniture itself. Every single aspect of that has been touched by technology. So other than the furniture assets itself, technology is the biggest investment that we have made over the past 10 years. Every walk of Lenko has been touched by that aspect. And now pretty much everything is automated. We even considered SAP as an ERP to set it up. But without technology, I don't think Lenko would have been anywhere.
Wow, those are big statements there. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing that back-end story. Just as a small follow-up on this. So, if, of course, technology has been truly at the heart of every aspect of the operations, ultimately, of course, you're looking at a satisfied customer, right? How are you leveraging data? And of course, no conversation can be had without talking about AI and Gen AI and everything that it does to better understand your customer, to really create that good fit for each of them.
Correct. So we have started integrating AI into our WhatsApp chats and Instagram chats, where we would like to understand our customer, where they're coming from. Depending upon the profile of the customer, our offerings can change. For example, if it's a family, we have a different kind of a subscription mechanism called unlimited, where we offer the entire buffet of furniture with one price. But if it's an individual who is renting along with his bachelor friends, then the offering is slightly different. So to talk to that individual and give the right solution, yes, you can train human beings and talk to them, but then the kind of skill that we are in, we would need army of people to handle that. So now we're starting to get AI into that part of the business, and it's starting to bear fruits now.
Okay, fascinating. We're going to deep dive a lot more into that. But before that, Ajay, welcome. So, again, similar question for you, because Ultraviolet too has such a unique story and such a unique trajectory that you've taken, and really a very standout brand in the market today. How do you ultimately, of course, I'm sure like each company here, you've made some bold investments, some bold choices along the way. How do you really take that and make sure that you're balancing all the innovation, all the new inspirations in the organization with sustainability and like a path that's kind of, a little bit fall-worthy as well?
Sure, sure. So of course, it's very challenging to look at where should you invest, and you have to decide much in advance, and the market validation and customer feedbacks comes much later. And in the journey to identify where the investment should happens at the stage one. And that's the time you should really evaluate and see that you're getting the pulse of the market, you are having the scenarios, you are looking at the sensitivity, you have the best case, worst case, and optimistic case which you can, or a realistic case which you take it forward. And from very starting, you need to be real what you're trying to do. And not only at that stage, as you move forward, you need to monitor, you need to pick the right way forward, define the landmarks, raise a red flag, or give a green signal to move ahead on your initial investment. That's become very, very important. And not only during the time when you have invested on a technology, it's a process of validation over the whole cycle till it really goes to the market. So the step two is that product is ready and you're offering. So when you move to the second stage, you really sometimes get stretched on the resources, right? And sometimes the element of ambition and a caution should always be there, right? You want to do something, but element of caution. And there should be a prudence of where you're investing, and at the end of the day, there should be value for what you're trying to do, right? A strong validation is required, a stress test of what's happening. So that's another area, a space where you need to get much more realistic and understanding what's happening. And then finally, if the business is growing, expanding, what you have done, you need to be preparing for plan to always. World is dynamic. There could be internal challenges, external challenges, and in that geography and that phase, you need to get even much more, alert to take corrective actions on your investments. So Ultraviolet, a journey of 7-8 years of lot of decisions taken, but everything is getting validated. Company is expanding locally and also expanding globally, making impacts globally as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I mean, who better really to put forward this point than the CFO as well? So, again, for your role, you are very much looking across the board, right? It's really a cross-function position that you have, and you really have to get everyone to work together with that, exactly what you're talking about, that same level of ambition, but as well as the caution. So again, as the CFO, how do you really pull this all in together and yet make sure that the teams are all equally motivated and working in sync?
So I feel the function of finance and CFO plays a very pivotal role in the success of any organization. It's the focal point. One side, you work closely with the board directives, vision, direction. You work closely with the founders, business partnering, and you are also seeing the other functions, right? How they are faring, how they are evolving, and what's working, what's not working. So that gives a unique positioning to finance to have the right visibility. And they bring in the skill of numbers to decision and decision back to numbers, right? And if you can educate and work or collaborate with cross-functional, you can bring in the real value of delivering everything with the aspect of generating value. So every dollar, every rupee which is being spent has to give value back. So from that point of view, and then you have different tools and ways to bring in that level of collaboration, working together. If you look at a company like Ultraviolet, where it's evolving, growing, and you have people coming from different organizations, different backgrounds, leading the different functions, so bring them all together, it becomes very, very critical in a fast-paced, growing market and a situation. And as a company also, you want to be always ahead on the curve. Defining right KPIs, defining a balanced scorecard becomes very, very critical. Good reviews, governance, and also you sometimes go in the mode of a program management strategy, right, where you're able to bring everyone together and then define and achieve the goal at the end of the day. And of course, you wear different caps as a CFO. Sometimes you are wearing a cap of advisor, sometimes a controller, you have to stop, or sometimes you team up.
I have an anecdote to add. So, and this is a CEO's perspective, right? Initially, when you start a company, it's all about the growth, the revenue. You need a CTO. You hire all kinds of CXOs, but the biggest impact is made by a CFO. Somebody said that profitability is freedom, and that emanates from the CFO's angle. He or she gives that check and balance to the founder, because the founder is always optimistic and tries to jump ahead. That he keeps you at check and then, boss, if you do this, this is what is going to happen. So you'll always see them at loggerheads in some sense, but this is one of the most critical positions which leads us. So
yeah, actually, so, and it's always a strong collaboration of a CEO and CFO working together for the success of the organization.
Now more than ever, I believe. Yeah.
Sure.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all those insights. We're going to again come back. Nivedita, again, welcome. Thank you for being here. So let's just jump right into all the tech and innovation that you guys are using at Zolve, right? Because you're at this intersection, of course, of a fintech company, but at the same time, you're really opening up cross-border opportunities for your very global customer base. So how, in a nutshell, are you embracing AI, Gen AI, all the use of the tools that are indispensable today to make sure that you're offering that bouquet of services ultimately, and you're making all the financial transactions seamless? Cross-border, of course, as we know, is a very tall order in today's world. So a little bit about how tech is really empowering your company.
Great. I think I'll also give some examples of how are we using AI, right? Very relatable to all of you understand a credit card and a transaction, and it also means a lot of fraud that can happen. You lose your card, someone's using your card. Maybe that's one example I can talk about. But just before that, I think at Zolve, we're very clear, we're very open about it. AI will be the next big thing. And for us, we're working on making that a very big competitive advantage at Zolve. We believe it will be and it can be. We're on a path to it. Examples, maybe one of it, right, is a customer support kind of a role, right? And Zolve is a cross-border team. We have people sitting in US, I have people sitting in Canada, and we have folks sitting in India. And we're launching in new geographies. It doesn't mean you're hiring more and more people to support your customers. So this is one example. The platform so far, we have processed around more than $1 billion worth of transactions. These are credit card transactions, debit card transactions, just money movement, transfers, etc. Right? Think of a use case. Without AI, you would have a team who's monitoring these transactions, identifying patterns to see what's an anomaly. And you detect something, you're calling up the customer real time and asking, is this you? Doesn't look like you, but is this you? Customer says, not me. You again have to put up a request to block the card, figure out something is off, right? But what we have is you have one agentic AI built, you have an AI agent who's monitoring the patterns here, and it calls up a voice bot who's making that call to the customer. I have calls where customer is not even realizing it's a voice bot. The customer is talking as if it's a person. How are you? How was your day? The bot says, great, but I've identified this transaction you just did. It doesn't look like your usual transaction. Is this you? Customer says, not me. And the bot is initiating another AI agent who blocks the card real time. And you tell the customer the card is blocked, it's not you. We'll figure out what happened here. Maybe it's your friend, or genuinely there's a fraud happening here. And the customer can ask for a reissue. We can reissue a new card there. This is one example, but the impact is, this is just one use case, right? But then again, think of calling up a customer and reminding them to pay your bill. And then people want to know, how do I pay my bill? What are the different payment methods? You have to explain how it works. And then you have someone on the call who says, can I pay it right now? Can you give me a payment link? And the agent sending a payment link on WhatsApp, on email, and enabling that payment. All of this is all automated now. Just 2 examples, but the impact of this is, again, in the last year or so, we've doubled the revenue, but my team remained the same. In fact, we've reduced the support team. We didn't let go. They're really strong, good set of people, right? You always have to be closer to your support team because day in, day out, they're talking to the customers. We provide a 24/7 chat support. So they're the ones who are sitting, messaging, hearing what the customer has to say. The folks in this team have moved to other teams. I need them in product. I need them in BizOps. I need them in compliance. I need them in credit. They've moved in, and they're also they want to learn other functions as well. So that's just one example, but a lot of work happening. What we also have investors who are playing a great role in what we do actually. Our set of investors, they have other great AI portfolio companies. So we attend a lot of events, be out there, talk to people. Some of them have let us get free credits to platforms. Again, our CFO is happy because we're not burning. A lot of it is experiments, right? But they're happy because I have free credits through our investors that we're leveraging and experimenting with tools as well. We have an AI labs team at Zolve. These are people across teams actually. There's no one external yet. These are people in tech, people from operations, people from credit, coming together and saying, I'm interested, I'm going to read more about it. They were sharing something interesting even before I walked into the session actually. They're all discussing, they're experimenting. I think just having access to technology is not enough. The real power comes when you identify the use case and put the technology to that use, right? For that, you need a lot of collaboration, brainstorming, people identifying and moving on. So a lot of waves definitely happening at Zolve with AI.
Wow, fascinating. So I can't help but wonder, in this kind of scenario where you truly have so much cross-team function happening here, maybe some of your current employees are upskilling, reskilling, as you said, to fit in different departments. How do you keep a team culture that's, forward-looking, determined, excited, also sort of agile to move cross-function, right? Because surely this can't be an easy task to move people across different
So
functions.
I think we've always seen some set of people in the organization who go beyond what we expect from them. Strong ownership, right? Maybe they don't come from they don't have the years of experience for sure. They don't come from teams. Typically, you expect a lot of probably feedback coming from. They're not from those teams. But some of them really outshine. They come out, they share that feedback. So those people we identify, they've spent enough amount of time in that specific function, right? We put them in different projects, especially projects which have a little more visibility on the business. They get to interact with senior people in the organization. They're picking up a new skill. So those guys really outshine for sure. So we give that opportunity. We have people, and another thing is some people, they don't even move teams. So I have a person in marketing today who at any moment can pick up credit related role and do that at Zolve. I have someone in operations who can pick up a product role because they've done, so if something happens, right, if you have a problem, let's say with a product, it doesn't mean the product Spock is the one who will go all out and fix it. We'll have a group of people, a pod across teams who comes together and says, I can do this. So that's something they're across. We've built that capability for people who are especially keen and show that intent, right? Have that opportunity to work on projects that they get more visibility at Zolve.
Wonderful. Truly creating this culture of agility in the organization. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Welcome, Akhil. Such a pleasure to have you here as well. Let's again deep dive into your story a little bit as well, because Zolo Stays is a very, you're really revolutionizing the way that millennials or the younger generation approach co-living and traveling in such communities or choosing these kind of accommodation options. So again, just to get right into your tech story here, to what extent is technology, AI, Gen AI, and the rest of it enabling you to deliver that customer experience in this kind of space? I think the goalpost keeps changing. Surely your customers want new things and different things constantly. So how are you keeping up with this, and how is tech really empowering you to do that?
Sure. To set the context, right? So majority of our customer base is mostly Gen Z audience who's new to the workforce. They have moved to urban cities, and they're looking for smart accommodations. They're looking for dignified accommodations, right? And that's the genesis of Zolo. That's where we started. And thankfully, our customer base is very tech savvy, is fairly demanding, right? So that always keeps us on the edge, we need to be innovating, we need to be listening to our customer base and reacting accordingly. And I think what AI has done is that now we are no longer just reacting to customer demands. We are able to proactively predict customer demands. We are able to kind of AI gives us that leeway, right? Where our customer support team, our sales team have enough time to actually do the more human part of it, right? So all the operations part is getting automated. There was a fair bit of automation earlier, but at the end of the day, all those edge cases were tough to automate. With AI agents, we are able to automate majority of the cases, right? So at least 70% of our cases are now solved fully via AI agents, which gives the support team enough time to do more, right? To actually figure out what could be happening, right? And we are leveraging AI primarily to now more on forecasting, right? So be it demand forecasting, maintenance forecasting, because we are managing multiple properties, right? So there are earlier, let's say there were possibilities of that, hey, there is a missed AC repair which needs to be done, or some kind of maintenance work that needs to be done, right? And we've started using sensors a lot. So sensors are effectively enabling us to do a lot of these things where it doesn't become an emergency, right? So it's doing a lot of preventive measures beforehand. So like overall, our customer satisfaction score has gone up. So and yeah, so last 6 to 12 months have been very exciting for us.
Oh, wonderful. Any examples you can share here of, like you said, maybe some checks and measures you have tech enabled, or yeah, just any way in which AI is really helping and pushing the boundary?
So I guess it starts from the booking experience to the whole living experience, and even to the retention part. To start with the booking experience, right? So when you're exploring options, right? So we are able to hyper personalize your requirements, right? Based on what areas generally customers would want to know that, hey, this is my aunt's place, this is my workplace, this is my friend's place. I want to look for a place around this, right? So we're able to provide hyper personalized solutions to our customers based on their needs, based on their choices. Then it goes into, as you kind of go into booking now, majority of our customers, they're joining as individuals, and they are sharing a room or sharing an apartment with other customers, right? So then it goes into the pairing levels, right? So we are able to smartly pair as if someone is actually sitting with them, counseling, understanding who would be the right partner to share a room with, right? So it goes into the living experience. Then if I talk about what I mentioned about sensors, right? So this happens more in the background, but very simple thing, right? So there are areas which are water affected, that the water level is low, right? So how do you ensure that, hey, you kind of fill the water tank, you kind of get those services sorted before it becomes an emergency.
Oh, wonderful. So very real-time data coming to you and acting on it immediately. Right. Wonderful. Wow, well, what a great first round, just understanding so much detail and all the innovation that each of you are doing. And, of course, this is the Digital Horizon series. So if each of you can tell us a little bit about what your Digital Horizon looks like in your organization, what can we look forward to in the coming years? Would you like to?
Sure. So one of the problems that we are solving, I'm not saying we have solved, we're still solving, we're using technology from the digital part side of it, is customer retention.
Yes.
For us, for Linko, we do not know when Devina is going to be returning her sofa in Mumbai. That is something that we would like to know. Ideally, we would not like you to return it back, but it is critical for us to know that you are going to be returning the furniture on the 30th of June. Because if we know that the purple sofa from Devina is going to come back, then I don't need to order a new purple sofa for the new customer. That is a very tough problem to solve, because I don't know your mind. When are you going to be returning? But what can be done is to study the patterns historically, and people kind of generally behave in one certain way. So we are feeding this data into AI models to see what are the different things that can be generated and predict the churn and accordingly preempt them, actually give them an offer saying that, hey, why are you giving back the sofa? Maybe you want to buy this off, or maybe you can swap it with a new sofa, or can we actually make you an offer to keep the sofa? So preempting that and to see if we can retain you is something that we are actively trying to solve at this point of time. Right? So that is something that we are actively working on right now.
Absolutely, because it's a business with so many logistical angles.
Extreme logistical
how do you
and
keep
the
track
variety
of all of that?
right?
Yes.
You may want to return a sofa but not return the fridge, or you may return both. So it's every little aspect of that is variable. So to predict, the predictive modeling of that is the most critical piece of this our business, and actively working on it.
Ajay, so yeah, similar question for you, but also coming back a little bit to this aspect of your role as the CFO and how, the trickle-down effect of leadership position matters so much in every organization. So as you move forward, of course, we'll understand a little bit from you what your digital horizon looks like, but also from a leadership perspective, how do you envision the coming years and really, again, empowering your teams to really work together?
Yeah, so surely there are a lot of areas where digitization is becoming key. And if you talk about electric mobility, most importantly, it's an electric product, which is all about tech. But we are not taking tech just as a product of design and a way to commute, taking it to the next level on the horizon of making it secure, more futuristic. A lot of element of AI is coming into the products today. Features like making a user safe, which is not there in two-wheelers today. You get a pop-up, you are alerted about a vehicle in front, you are alerted about the vehicle which are at the back. If you have some blocks on the street and the roads, the vehicle will inform you well in advance. Also, there's a blind spot from the vehicle in front of you. If a vehicle is going in front of you and has a blind spot in which you are there, the pop-up will come to you that you better careful, the vehicle in front of you is not able to watch you. So we're talking very, very futuristic tech aspects to the product which are coming up. Also, these are all connected vehicles. So on your mobile, you get a pop-up if anyone touches your vehicle. If that vehicle is moved from one location to location, you are able to track from sitting at your desktop. So lot on the tech side, and also as it's moving forward, the approach of being human remains an important aspect. As an organization, you look at internal aspects on digitization and improvement, and also from the external aspect to create a very good social citizen, corporate citizen. Yeah.
Wonderful, great. Lots to look forward to. Wonderful, thank you. And Nivedita, again, in your industry, I would say in the sector, which is so highly regulated as well, what are kind of the future? What does the future roadmap look like? Because there's so many parameters and checks and boxes that you need to keep in mind too. So again, as a leader, as someone who's running an organization that has so many parameters to keep in mind, what does the future outlook look like for you?
So one, I think we've always been very clear, we invest in people. That's the biggest asset. Another thing is, I don't think a lot of us, what we're doing is rocket science. People can solve it, people can pick up and do. So what we believe in is always context setting. Take up anything at all. We focus on, let them know what are we doing and why are we doing. People will come to the how part of it. Employees will figure out how do we do it. We'll all obviously collaborate, but it's very important for them to know why is it important and why this should be done now. And we have a very seasonal market. We cater to migrants who move to different countries, be it students, be it working professionals, right? Some of you studied abroad, lived abroad. So we arrange the entire suite of financial products when you're migrating, even before you migrate, even when you're here in India, it is all given to you on an app. But in this case, it has to be at that moment, even before they fly out, we're tapping into the customer, understanding what part of the journey they are and addressing those things. But back to the context setting again, right? So when you tell someone that this problem has to be solved this month, they all know why. We all know we have a wave. You miss the wave, I have to wait for another year end, another season when a student studies abroad. So people understand. So we do a bunch of things across the org, which is some of them we've started from the day one we started the business. Some we've picked up and implemented. I'll give an example. There's something called a Customer Connect Tuesdays that happen at Zoll. This is weekly. A lot of other products here, a B2C product that you pick, right? Example, I was in Taxi for Sure before. Taxi for Sure is a cab hailing similar to an Ola and an Uber back in 2010, 2013. There, I had my parents who would tell me, I've just taken a taxi ride, this was bad or that was good. I had my batchmates, I was just out of college then, I had my batchmates who tagged me on social media, said this was bad, or also said this was great, right? And we had investors, investor spouses, a lot of feedback from a lot of places, which was great, right? You're getting free market intelligence. You should always be listening to customers. But at Zolve, we've built products for people who are living abroad and using the product abroad. So it's not like your common group. You don't hear a lot of people talking about a banking app that they're using in the US. So that's where the customer connect on Tuesdays, we started that, where every team picks a theme. This is all pre-decided. We're talking to the customers on a recorded call. On Tuesday, 5 to 6 p.m., the whole organization sits down. We're playing those calls, we're listening to them, there's discussion happening, brainstorming, and some of the things. And if a tech person, you just go and tell them that this is a bug we need to fix, versus you hear a customer saying, I've tried using it, there's a sale happening, he's paranoid, he wants to get that sale on the card doesn't work, there are limits, example. Beyond $3,000 at one swipe, you can't use the card for security purpose. But he's saying, I need this right now. You see the customer switching and taking another card to make that payment. He's not giving even a 2-minute break to think and get a limit higher, right? But you have your tech and product listen to the same call. You don't have to convince them. They're going to prioritize. You just wait for it. End of it, they're going to say, this is a quick one, we're going to do it. So some of these things helps us in setting context. Some of them are more top-down. Example, we do town hall sessions, which is once a month. The CEO, the founder, talks about everything that happened in the month, why we're doing certain things. Everyone at Zolve knows what's priority for the company for the whole year. They know what's a P0 metric. If you have two things, they know which one's a priority over the other. Profitability is our focus currently, growth, experience as well, right? So people are very clear across the org, what's a priority and what are we doing? Does that move that key metric, which is priority for the company? That plus a lot of customer feedback, right? That's how context is always being set to people, and that really helped for us for sure.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. You know, what really comes to mind is no matter how much, and of course, again, this is the Digital Horizon show and we're understanding all the great tech innovations you're using, but the human touch is really completely indispensable, right? Perhaps even more so in this age of AI. Akhil, would you like to kind of share some thoughts on this and how are you creating that balance, you know? Actually, this question is open for the whole panel too. How are you creating balance in today's world where there needs to be so many customer touch points, but keeping the human element alive along with all the AI and all the tech that you're using?
Certainly, how we see AI is actually not just a productivity booster, but a catalyst for org transformation, right? So it's like basically we are looking at all the key stakeholders, right? So starting with customers, employees, partners, because we partner with a lot of supply chain players. So, so what AI does best is effectively it brings in a lot of efficiency and repetitive tasks, right? And nowadays, I would say the best part is that it takes care of a lot of edge cases as well, right? So what AI is doing right now is giving most of our workforce enough time to spend and have a connection with the customers, right? So I can get an AI which will do all the compliance, which will take care of rental agreements, payments, and all that. But I can't get an AI who will smile at the customer, right? Who will have a genuine conversation with the customer. But what's happening is that now we have enough time and resources where the workforce is now actually having time to connect with the customers, build a community, right? So smart community, again, lot of repetitive task management, emailers, communication is managed by AI agents, whereas the real connect is being handled by the team. And that's something that we are ensuring that's how the AI is not replacing humans, but empowering them to do more and to have a real connect with the customers.
Thank you. Any thoughts on this, creating the balance?
Well, in areas like design, it's a more compact, and I feel, I'm sure AI will get there. But then as of now, I would trust my humans who are brilliant at that. Because it comes with a lot of experience and the AI models have not reached there yet. And there's no data to tell that Devina likes this sofa. So we are the ones having that data, right? So these high impact areas, we don't design sofas every day. We design a series in once in 6 months. So these kind of areas, and it's not repetitive, like you said, it is a non-repetitive task that is still with the humans. Any repetitive task, customer support also, there's a difference between normal customer support, some billing questions, these can be answered by AI, but when the customer is shouting at you, I don't want to put an AI agent yet. Maybe there'll be an evolved AI agent who can handle that, which will be ultimately better than the human. As of today, I'm relying on my best humans to handle the irate customer. So, and also AI has not progressed as much, right? We are talking about complex human problems, but I'm sure it's going to get there. It's just a matter. It's growing faster than what we are imagining. Maybe in a couple of years, all of these can be solved as well. As of now, I'm still a human person,
Great.
not an AI person.
I think very important for all our viewers also to understand that this is actually truly what's in the mind of CEOs and leaders like yourselves. How indispensable the human touch is, because there is so much fear, right, that the AI is going to take over jobs and people are going to become redundant. So very valuable to hear from people like yourself.
And just to add on this, maybe more of again from finance perspective, lots being said. It helps AI, it helps driving efficiency, and this aspect of human touch which should remain. And most importantly, it is an enabler. You have to up the skills of the people around to really drive AI. It's not really, I don't think so, it's substitute. At the end, it's the human capital, it's the human resource which takes the organizations. You create organization where you have amazing teams. AI cannot create an organization. So it has its own value. And when you see from finance point of view, there's an evolution journey of any company, starting from the product, going to growth, talking about cash, profitability. And on the top sits the MVA, what you call the market valuation, and the company perspective. And valuation is done on the aspect of how the company is growing, whether you have AI, whether you don't have AI, but overall, how good a corporate citizen the company is, and what you're doing for the society in aspect, and the human aspect also plays a very big role in that.
And just to add to that, I believe, and this could be not a knowledgeable opinion, but I believe AI might be too perfect and humans are imperfect. So we might miss out on those emotions which makes us humans, which AI might miss. And that makes the human race much more bigger. So how it affects in business, leadership, management, motivating people. What I'm hearing about ChatGPT and therapy and all that, it's just going in one direction. It's too perfect. Like this is our life teacher, but humans are imperfect, and that's how you thrive. But I'm curious to know how AI is going to evolve. Today's AI, I would not trust with my leadership yet at this point of time.
Any closing thoughts here?
Yeah, I think again, what everyone said, same point of view, right? I don't think AI can replace people as such. Currently, people are using AI as a tool to enhance productivity. I have people again who come up and say, people from finance who say, I don't want to read a 30-page agreement, right? Can someone do this? The whole repetitive task, right? If it's a repetitive task, I can, but you still need your legal person to sit and look at it. He's the one who's talking to the partner, closing with the other legal spock at the other end on the call or the meeting, right? So I think you have to coexist. And I think it will evolve to a stage where it can beat probably a simple conversation. Sometimes I don't want to have a long chat. I have a quick 2-minute, this is what I want, this is it, and done. I don't mind an agent talking to me, not a human always. So I think there are use cases which AI can completely take over, but it can't be like 100% of your task in a company. Your leadership skills, the human touch is always important, and that will go.
And the body language. So whether to trust this person or not, which is the primary aspect of a business, right? Is he a great person? Can I believe him? Can I shake hands with him? Can I do business with him? You replace it with AI. That's what I say. If AI is too perfect, so will humans trust that? These are the things I'm thinking about, how it's going to evolve.
Wonderful, thank you. Just a closing comment from you as well. I know actually you kick-started this whole topic of balancing the human touch, but a closing comment actually.
Sure. So I certainly see AI as a massive enhancer, right? So Microsoft smartly called it to be co-pilot, not autopilot, right? So how I see it is that now every person, be it the lowest rank in the company, very basic reception desk role, or be it the CEO, right? So every person will be dependent on their co-pilots, on AI bots. And what it does is it gives you more leverage, more time, and kind of, let's say, you can spend more time in understanding your customer needs and kind of in taking the right steps. And it gives you effectively a very strong resource bandwidth, right? So consider what was not available to our marketing agents, to a marketing team. Like if I go for any team, be it HR, be it marketing, it has kind of opened up so many doors, right? And it is giving such a expertise knowledge in such a quick glance, which is becoming phenomenal, right? Certainly it cannot take over, because at the end of the day, right, whatever marketing goes on our social handles, there has to be a responsible person, right? My CMO, my marketing person cannot say that, oh, this is done by ChatGPT, this is done by AI, like I'm not responsible. So the accountability and responsibility will lie with humans, right? It's how we leverage it. And I think it's already, at Zolo, it's already affecting every member, any rank, any role. It's affecting in various ways, be it a property manager who's managing the property, or be it CEO, be it CXO, be it marketing persons, right? So I think we are genuinely seeing a lot of leverage and way more what we can do for our customers, and the faster we can grow with the with control and costs related to human resources, with costs related to even experimentation, because now we are able to do much better experimentation, right? You can collaborate with AI that, hey, what are the pitfalls? What's that happening, right? How Nivedita mentioned about legal agreements. Earlier, a legal agreement is posed to one of our property guys, to the sales guy. He's clueless. Now he can interact with AI and put out his own thoughts that, hey, here are my thoughts. Legal guy, can we have a thoughtful conversation around it, right? So it's already impacting a lot, and I think it will evolve. I genuinely see a lot of huge transformation coming via these AI agents and bots.
Maybe just to add on agreements, we talked a lot. If the AI is on the both the sides, the agreement will be signed very quickly.
This is true. Wonderful.
I think just to add also, right, we spoke about how AI in general is enhancing productivity across people. You don't have to repeat the same task. It's also helping, let's say, us figure out patterns in churn. How do I retain? How do I drive more spends, etc. Another interesting area is also letting the customer play with AI a bit on the product, right? So definitely the same product, the same offering is not going to suit every customer out there. We can bucket to some extent. I can have different customer categories, segment them 4 different ways, depending on the spends, depending on how active, depending on high spends, low spends, more frequency, higher all of that, right? But I think of a use case. There could be a use case where I, as a customer, I want my app to look like this, because for you could be 4 other things matter. For CFO, I'm sure 4 other things would matter. For a product, I didn't mean like a role in the org, but customer, right? People can play around, pick and choose what do you want as a customer, personalize what you want, and you have AI on your app which is helping you get there. It sees your pattern, it sees how you are engaging with the app, and imagine a home screen just designed for you, right? A lot of things on the product, you're figuring out how does an app architecture look like, how many clicks to reach a key action on the product, but the key action could be very different for every customer out there. So that's another area I think we're exploring, we're getting there. How do I let customers play around with it and them choose what they want to use, how do they want to use the product?
Wonderful. Lots to look forward to, clearly. Truly, thank you all so much for being here and sharing all your examples, all your insights so candidly. I'm sure we've left our viewers today with a lot of food for thought. So thank you for being on Digital Horizons. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you. Thank you. All right, and with that, we wrap this compelling edition of Digital Horizon, Charting a Future Together, brought to you by ET Brand Equity in association with SAP. Now, if there's one key takeaway from today's conversation, it is that digital transformation isn't just about adopting new tools. It's of course about forging a unified vision that brings people, technology, and purpose together to shape a far better tomorrow. Until next time, many thanks for watching.